Hi guys, welcome to the Soft and Tender podcast. My name is Sandra and I am your host. Welcome to the very first episode of season 2. I'm so glad that we're finally kicking it off and I can't wait to have you here. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And if you're a returning listener, thank you for sticking by me. And I hope you're ready for the ride this season. So yeah, let's get right into it. So as you can probably tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about boundaries. And we're going to be talking about boundaries on different levels. But first, let's define what boundaries are. Boundaries are guidelines, rules, or limits that a person creates to identify for themselves. And basically, it involves, how they want people to behave around them, or how they want to behave around people, or how they would react when, people behave a certain way around them. So boundaries could be physical, it could be emotional, and sometimes it is formed or created based on the person's culture, personality, social environment, and clearly boundaries differ from person to person, from individual to individual. So first and foremost, we're going to be discussing boundaries as it relates to relationships. So what I mean by relationships in this case is that as somebody whose friend is in a relationship, and anytime your friend has a problem in their relationship, they come to you, or it may not even be that maybe they're dating the person, maybe it could be another friend of theirs, and anytime that friend upsets them, they come ranting to you. The real question is, how do you know when you're going to cross the boundary, going to cross that person's boundary, right? So let's assume A and B are best friends, and A is your very, very good friend. So anytime A and B fight, A comes running to you to tell you that, oh, my best friend did this, my best friend did that. Or if they're dating, for instance, be like, oh, my boyfriend did this, my boyfriend did that, or my girlfriend did this, my girlfriend did that. So the question is, how do you know how to react, the limit of your reaction, what to say, what not to say, and all of that. I think it's a really delicate situation. I know somebody that was involved in such, and every time her friend came to complain about her partner, she would not know how to react. She would not know, okay, do you want me to tell you exactly how I feel, my honest opinion, or do you want me to lash out at your partner like you're doing, or do you want me to just listen, or do you want me to support him? So I think what happened was the friend just wanted her friend to lash out at her partner. So they would both lash out at the partner. She would also insult her friend's boyfriend, why would you do that to my babe? All of those things. Like, in some situations, she would even go and confront this guy in person. And at the end of the day, it's ended up ruining her friendship with this babe, because her friend kept getting back together with her partner, and anytime that happened, her partner would be like, that your friend is a bad friend. Like, she advised you to break up with me, she insulted me, she's not respectful, I think you should end that relationship, I think you should end that friendship. And that happened. So now the real question is, what is the balance? How do you know when to stop? How do you know what to say? How do you know not what to say? So I'm going to give you guys a couple more examples, right? So I saw this on Twitter, and credit goes to @NigerSingleGirl. So she says, when my friend broke up with her boyfriend, I joined her to abuse him when she informed me of all his atrocities. They reconciled a month after, and she jokingly told him I called him cabin biscuit head during their fight. They finally married, and he told her to unfriend me. Like, you guys, that's crazy, because is she not supposed to support her friend? And then the friend gets back together with this guy. That's probably not good for her. I do not know. And then, she's told to unfriend this babe. So that's really crazy. There's another one here by Cool Slimmy Girl. She she replied to Niger Single Girl and said, "Me, my uncle and his wife matter where I put mouth, don't teach me lesson. Any issues between couples like this, now make them go front, go settle am." Then Kunlex89834915 says, "I have learned my lesson the hard way. My friend was telling me his girlfriend demanded too much and he is tired. Now so I advised my friend though. He even said he won't answer her. Now they don't settle everything. They don't settle everything and the babe no even greet me again. I don't know what my friend has told her." Like, phew, nigga, that's crazy. Then Somtochi says, "That's why I do not like to put my mouth in people's relationship wahala. You take sides, then when they settle, you become the bad guy." Only King Morgan says, "Since my friend don't tell me say how me wey dey single go dey advise am for relationship thing, I don't remove my mouth. Even when he comes to me for talk about his relationship, I dey remind the dude say I still dey single, abeg." Honestly, I think at this point this is the best thing to do. Just let these people know that, okay, I'm not able to comment at this time. But the problem is it may cause friction between you and your friend, because now the friend is going to think that, you're nonchalant about their pain, or you're just ignoring how they feel, or you really don't care and all of that. So it's really such a dicey situation. Let me know. I really want to know what you guys think about that. If your friend had a problem with her partner or another friend of hers, would you, team up with her to judge this person, insult this person, or would you remain neutral, or would you support the guy? What exactly would you take? And if you have any experiences, please tell me about it. I do want to hear and I want to learn. So yes, I think that's that about relationship, basically being a third party in a relationship, and how the two people in the relationship, whether they're friends or they have a romantic relationship, how they react. I think this also has to do with when somebody complains about their parents to you. This is their parents. You definitely, for this one, I'm going to tell you, do not join them to react the way they're reacting about their parents, because honestly, the bond between a parent and their child is technically unbreakable, right? And you do not want to insult anybody's parents. Even if you think you're just taking your friend's side and you're being loyal and all of that, it may end up, on the wrong side. Even if in the moment your friend agrees with whatever insults or whatever things you're throwing at his or her mother or father, at the end of the day, when the person has calmed down and has reconciled with his or her parents, the person is going to remember the things you said and is going to be like, "Oh, so that's the way this person really feels about my parents." I can't be in a relationship, or I can't have a friendship with somebody that feels this way about my parent. That means they don't respect it. So if it's, somebody reporting their parents to you, honestly, the best thing is just to be neutral and just tell the person sorry. So, but when it comes to relationships and friendships, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit dicey, especially when you know that maybe the person your friend is in a relationship or friendship with is a really toxic one. You may, want to actually say your mind. So yeah, moving on. Okay, I think this also deals with before we move on, let's also talk about when you find your partner cheating. Your friend's partner cheating, excuse me. When you find your friend's partner cheating, what do? Do you go to report your friend? Do you not? I feel like this should be a whole topic on its own. So you guys gotta think about it, and then we shall discuss this in the future. So moving on, still under boundaries. What do you do when okay, let me give this example. A and B are dating, but A and C have known each other for so long and they have nicknames for each other. Okay, let me give you guys this example. There was this guy that was my friend. We're friends. I think the better word would be acquainted. We're acquainted, right? And he had a nickname for me, and that's why I also used to call him. So, anytime, and we barely spoke. So we spoke mostly on birthdays and stuff like that. So anytime it was his birthday, I'd be like, oh, happy birthday, and then I'll say the nickname. And then on my birthdays, he would do the same. And then I think his last birthday, I did it, and I realized that he didn't call me that nickname back. Like, it was weird to me. I just instantly felt like, oh, maybe this guy's in a relationship. Like, I wasn't too sure, but I just felt like, maybe this is where boundaries come in. Now that you're committed to one person, you're not going to be having flirty nicknames with other people. And then my birthday came around, and it was just a simple, cute, happy birthday. Like, there was no nickname or anything. So, I mean, I didn't comment on it, but I noticed it, and I was like, oh, okay, this person is definitely in a relationship. A few weeks later, it was his babe's birthday, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, that makes so much sense. That is why this person removed the nickname from our relationship. So now a lot of people don't believe that, when they get into relationships, if they've been friends with somebody, they don't need to, like, put boundaries. They don't need to stop nicknames and all of that. But, like, I don't think that should be. I think that when you become committed to one person, any other kind of relationship that you've had is more on the flirty side should come to an end. I think that's only respecting your partner. That is, respecting your relationship as well. So I had a friend that that was in a relationship. Okay, so when I met this guy, I didn't know he was in a relationship. So we started talking. We became really, really good friends. Like, we got really, really close. We're talking every day. And then I found out he had a babe. So I was like, I hope your babe doesn't mind us talking every day, because I think I would mind if my boyfriend was talking to another girl that he met after me every day. He was like, oh no, there's no insecurity in their relationship. They trust one another. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, well, okay, if you say so. So after some time, communication dwindled. And, I just felt maybe this guy has finally decided to respect his babe and respect his relationship. And I have no beef with that. I mean, if you have to end your relationship with me to keep your romantic relationship, if you have to end your friendship with me to keep your romantic relationship, honestly, that's fine. At the end of the day, you met me after her. Like, you're already in that relationship before I came around. It wasn't like you've known me or like you knew me for ages before you started dating this girl. So when the communication dwindled, we would talk like maybe once in a month, once in 2 months, and like when texting anymore, it will just be via call, and then we'll just catch up, maybe like a 10-15 minute call, catch up, and yeah, that was it. So I just noticed that the communication, the once in a while phone calls also dwindled. So I call him up one day, and I'm like, oh, hello, what's happening, how you doing? And then like I'm hearing his voice is so low, and like when he picks the call, he did not react the way he usually did. Like, he didn't sound excited or anything. So I hear TV in the background, and I'm like, oh, what are you watching? And then he's like, he's watching so and so. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I know him, and I know he could never willingly sit down and watch that movie. So he's like, so I'm like, oh, is your babe then? He's like, yes. I'm like, oh, okay, no wahala. Like, no problem. I'll talk to you some other time. And like, that was the last time we had a conversation as friends. Like, after that, I just wrote the friendship over and done with. I mean, it served its purpose. It was done. Everything lasts forever. So, but then in my mind, I'm like, this is the same guy that told me that, oh, there was no problem, this and this, that and that. His girlfriend did not mind, blah, 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 blah. Now, fast forward, that was 2 years ago. Fast forward to this year. I called this guy up after, like, I don't know, some things happened, right? And I needed to clarify some information from him. So I call him, and I'm like, oh, how far? He's like, oh, he and his babe broke up last year. I'm like, oh, okay, I did not know that. Like, this is news to me. I mean, I guess since we're no longer friends, you do not owe me the information. So he's like, oh, he's dating somebody new now, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, well, his babe, like the ex now, the one he was dating, the one he said was not insecure. Apparently, the girl hated me. and told him countless times to end his relationship with me. And like, I was so shocked. I'm like, I mean, I felt there was some insecurity, or there was the probability of some insecurity based on how close we were, but I did not know it was this bad. And like, for you to use the word hate, like, deep stuff, man. So like, it just taught me a really big lesson that no matter the circumstance, whether you knew this person before he started dating somebody or you met him after, no matter the situation, I think once you know somebody's in you, this is why I don't understand how, young ladies sleep with married men. Like, you can tell this person is in a relationship, this person is married with children, and you still cross that boundary. Like, don't you have some self-respect? Like, at least respect the person's relationship, even if you do not respect the person. So, it just taught me a big lesson that I should, that I should always respect people's relationship, regardless of what they're telling me. Like, oh, maybe there's no insecurity, there's nothing. Like, that's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, I would also expect that my man and his friends would respect our relationship. So, yes, guys, make sure you respect people's relationships. Make sure you respect their partners, and honestly, it will not hurt you to end the friendship just because you respect the person's relationship. Like, there's no harm. I mean, now, okay, when he told me he broke up with his babe, I was like, or when he told me they broke up, I was like, in my mind, I just felt, oh, I guess we could be friends again. And then I'm like, okay, so are you dating somebody new? And then he's like, yes, that he met somebody after they broke up and he's dating the person. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this friendship is really over. Like, there's no coming back from it. I'm not even about to start talking and another babe to hate me and think that I'm trying to come in between her relationship, which was really not my intention. I mean, like, I already voiced out my opinion, and this person assured me it was fine, only later, 2 years later, to find out that it was really not fine. Anyway, guys, that's just that. So now the last section we're going to talk under boundaries is when you tell your partner your friends gist. Okay, so let's assume A and B are friends, right? And A and C are dating. So when A and B have any discussion, or when B confides in A runs and goes to tell her husband or her boyfriend. I've seen a lot of uproar on social media, people saying that's wrong, people saying don't go and tell your man my business, my business shouldn't be your family business, all of that. While some are like, well, the first person I always want to tell gist is my boyfriend or is my husband. Like, honestly, maybe because I don't have a boyfriend or a husband, I really can't tell. And maybe because I haven't been in a situation where I found out that most of my friends are single anyway. My friends are single. So maybe until I get a friend or have a friend that is in a relationship and then they go and tell their partner, maybe that's when I will understand what these people are saying. But from my perspective as a single lady with single friends that has never experienced this, please notice my disclaimer. I don't think you should be angry that your friend is going to tell her spouse. Like, except it's something that is going to make her spouse or her partner disrespect you. Like, if it's just like, oh, I don't know an example of what it just could be, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, right? I don't think that it should be such a crime that they tell their partner. At the end of the day, that's really their best friend. Like, maybe it's you they would usually rant to, and you're the one ranting to them, and they need to rant to somebody to get it out of their system. So I don't know. I really don't know. Tell me, guys, what you think. Tell me what you think, and maybe I can learn a thing of two from you. So yeah, I think we've spoken about taking your friend's side when they have a fit or a fight with their partner or their friends. Do you take their side or do you not take their side? Do you remain neutral? Clearly, for the parents, you have to remain neutral. In fact, take the parents' side. That's the best thing. I'm even going to advise. If you know you can't take the parents' side, just shut up your dirty stinking mouth. Then, do you tell your friend when you catch her partner cheating? Like I said, this is a conversation for another day because, bro, there's some juicy stories and I need to be able to read them to you accurately, not from my head. And do you end friendships when you enter a relationship, or do you keep nicknames, or do you stop nicknames? All of that. So, do you keep calling your friend my baby, my love? And like, do you end certain friendships? Like, I feel like the kind of friendships you should definitely end is any friendship that used to be a friendship with benefits or friends with benefits. That's the first thing you should end. Immediately you enter that relationship, cut that shit off. Cut that person off. Because you guys were already knocking and then you're in a relationship now. Or more. It's not like you guys were just platonic friends. Just end that shit. It's not worth it. So, and then the last one was violating your friend's privacy by, telling your partner, your spouse, your husband, your wife about the gist or story time they've given you. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was, like putting this episode together was really enlightening for me, and I hope it was for you too. So I can't wait to read your comments. I'm going to put a poll up, so if you're listening on Spotify, please participate in the poll and let me know what you think. And I hope you've learned a thing or two as I have. And of course, you can always email me, drop a comment under my Instagram post. Follow me on Instagram at Soft and Tender Podcast. And, let me know how you feel and let me know what's on your mind. If you have my number, hit me up on WhatsApp. Tell me what you think. If you want to hit me up on my personal Instagram, you can do that as well. Just follow MOSANDRA. M-O, Sandra with an extra A. So MOSANDRA. So yes, guys, that brings us to the end. And I'm so happy that season 2 has finally commenced. So I will catch you guys next week. Stay tuned. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to drop reviews. Don't forget to participate in the polls. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to do whatever you know you need to do. I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye.